My name's Tom Wilcox. I'm a communications director. I specialize in behavioral change communications, particularly around counterterrorism and post-conflict. I've been interested in the polar regions for a number of years and have done a few small expeditions of my own. What made me decide to be an ice warrior? I think it's multifaceted. I think there's from a selfish perspective, it's a wonderful opportunity to learn from some of the best people in terms of their skill set and their experience, and to really be able to spend quality time with people who have experienced something that I would like to experience for myself, and for them to impart their wisdom and their experience for people like me who know nothing and have experienced very little, is a very rare opportunity. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity to be involved in that. I think on a more deep, meaningful level, I think that becoming an ice warrior is something that a lot of people now are really struggling to understand how they can do something. You know, the climate crisis is something that most people are obviously increasingly aware of. And I think there's a legitimate anxiety around what that means and what it means to live in an age where we're really uncertain about our futures. And for me personally, and I'm sure lots of other people feel the same, having some way to be involved and to make a positive change is a really, really valuable thing. And I think that more people should find a way to be involved on some level, because I think when you are passionate about something, you should put that passion into it to make it better. So I'd say in terms of my training experience, I've done a number of personal expeditions that I've been involved with, which has included time in Svalbard in the past, but also I spent a month sea kayaking across Patagonia, self-sufficient with some friends. So I've had some levels of training in the past, including working glaciers and mountaineering, things like that. So I do have a rudimentary level of training. But with all training, it's only really effective if you put it into practice, you know. And I think the problem is that unless you're doing something on a regular basis, it's very difficult to maintain those skill sets. So for me, doing something like this, it's wonderful to be able to be involved in a training process that then comes together and you implement it in an expedition. That way you really get an opportunity to cement those training skills. I think I bring a history of working in challenging environments. As I say, I've done some work in expedition level, so I have a basic understanding. But I've spent my career working in conflict and post-conflict regions. That primarily means that I spent most of my career working in environments that are insecure, highly challenging. They are unpredictable, and they take you beyond what would be a normal comfort zone. All of those sort of soft transferable skills work in any kind of environment. So Ice Warrior then help you learn the technical skills you need, but the experience I have of working in these types of environments really helped me with my ability to cope. And I think largely in these sorts of environments where the climate and the weather are so difficult, having that resolve and having that ability to continue to operate and cope under adversity is really such a challenging element of what we're doing. And that also is a huge part of what Ice Warrior teaches. You know, a lot of what we're doing in the training exercises is about building up that ability. I think I'm looking to gain a sense of purpose, I think, more than anything. I think having a focus that you can channel your energy into when you're passionate about something. So for me, being passionate about climate change and being not only being aware of climate change and being conscientious and proactive, I think there's an element of needing to be involved in something that is more than the bare minimum. You know, I think it's very easy to be complacent when it comes to climate change and think that it's someone else's responsibility. But it's not someone else's responsibility, it's everyone's responsibility. And there's any number of things that people can do. And I think that it's everyone's responsibility to make a step, be it a big step or a small step, to contribute. And for me, this is my contribution. This is how I want to contribute. And I think that it's a way to be involved in something that I'm passionate about and I take a great deal of enjoyment from, whilst working towards something that is a serious issue that needs to be addressed. I think anyone who's watching this and want to help in some way, the best thing they can do is become aware of what's really going on. I think that one of the biggest problems that we have as a society around climate change is an unwillingness or a hesitation to face reality, because it's a scary reality and it's very difficult to face that fear sometimes, you know. And if facing that fear means you recycle a little bit more, or you're more conscientious about the food that you eat, or it could be the smallest thing, it makes a difference and it makes an impact. You don't have to strap on a big coat and go out into the polar Arctic. That's quite an extreme response. But if people want to support it, I think they need to start becoming more aware of what is going on. And if becoming aware inspires them to do something, then they can act, and there's lots of ways they can act. And donate money to the cause. You know, if nothing else, donate money to either Ice Warrior or any number of organizations that are actively working in this area, because without the type of research that we are going to be doing on the expedition, without the type of research that many other scientific organizations are doing, we can't learn and we can't progress. And without that learning and progression, then we're only ever going to repeat the same mistakes that we've been making. And then nothing changes.